What is said in the video is not advice or a call to action. The information is for informational purposes only. Facts from psychology. In this video, the neural network, will give you a tour of the most interesting facts from the field of psychology. Psychology is the science of consciousness and behavior. It covers a wide range of topics, including cognition, perception, motivation, emotions, personality, and social behavior. Simple impact effect. A simple impact effect is a phenomenon in which people develop a preference for things simply because they are familiar with them. This effect has been demonstrated in many different contexts. For example, the more you listen to a song, the more you like it, or prefer the faces that were shown to you before. The bystander effect. The bystander effect is a tendency for people to be less likely to offer help in the presence of other people. The more people are around in an emergency, the less likely it is that one person will come forward to help. This effect was clearly demonstrated in the case of Kitty Genovese, who was murdered in New York in 1964 in front of many people without interfering. The impact of social media on mental health. Social media can have both positive and negative effects on mental health. While it can foster social connections and provide support, it can also increase feelings of anxiety, depression, and isolation, especially when overused or for comparison purposes. The marshmallow experiment. The marshmallow experiment is a classic study in psychology that demonstrated the importance of delayed gratification. During the study, the children were given a choice between a small treat, for example, marshmallows, which they could eat immediately, or a large treat, which they could get if they waited a while. Children who were able to postpone gratification and wait for more treats achieved better results in various areas, including academic and social success. The experiment of drive. Solomon Asch, 1951, Pennsylvania, USA. Solomon Asch conducted a groundbreaking study designed to prove that a person will meet the standard when there is a need. No one had conducted such psychological experiments before him. A group of participants were shown photos with lines of different lengths, and then asked a simple question: which line is the longest? The trick of the study was that in each group only one person was a real participant. The rest were actors, fake ducks with a scenario of behavior. Most of the actors were instructed to give the wrong answer. Oddly enough, the real participant almost always agreed with the majority, although he knew that he was answering incorrectly. Halo effect. The halo effect is the tendency of people to make a generalized positive impression about others based on one positive characteristic. For example, if someone is attractive, we could assume that they are also kind, intelligent, and friendly, despite the lack of evidence of these traits. Self-serving bias. Self-serving bias is the tendency of people to take credit for their successes, but blame external factors for their failures. This bias is responsible for a number of behaviors that promote self-improvement, such as attributing credit to group successes, but shifting responsibility for group failures to others. The placebo effect. The placebo effect is a phenomenon in which an inactive substance, for example, a sugar pill, can have a therapeutic effect simply because the patient believes in it. This effect has been demonstrated in many different contexts, including pain relief, anxiety reduction, and even weight loss. The effect of simple presence. The effect of mere presence is a phenomenon in which the physical presence of other people can influence our behavior in ways we are not even aware of. For example, simply knowing that other people are watching us can increase our propensity to conform to social norms and follow rules. Blitz. By addressing people by their name, you endear them to yourself more and increase the degree of trust in your own person. Our hearts have nothing to do with the feeling of falling in love. It's just a chemical reaction taking place in the brain. Our brain has a negative bias and tends to remember bad memories more than pleasant ones. A good way to focus and concentrate your attention is to mentally talk to yourself during the task. People who tend to wander in the clouds usually cope better with complex problems. The phenomenon of bitter candy. When considering visually effective thinking, psychologists were puzzled by the question, why sometimes kids 36 years old can easily solve tasks that younger school children cannot cope with. Asnin managed to prove that the success of the problem-solving process depends not only on the objective content of the letter, but primarily on the motive that is given by the task. This conclusion is known today as the bitter candy phenomenon. This name was formed due to the fact that the essence of the experiment was to get candy from a table with high sides. Younger children did not hesitate to take a wand to help themselves and get what they wanted, while older children were embarrassed to use an auxiliary tool, thought it was so easy for their age, and in most cases voluntarily refused it, trying to complete the task on their own. Thus, it can be said that they relied more on conscience than on reason. But this happened only at the moment of little interest. When it was necessary to get the shoes, that is, there was a situation on the task of obtaining the necessary item, it was instantly solved by using the same wand. The primacy effect. The primacy effect is the tendency of people to remember the first things they encounter better than the later ones. This effect has been demonstrated in a variety of contexts, including first impressions, job interviews, and even elections. Negative effects of multitasking. Contrary to popular belief, multitasking can actually reduce productivity and increase stress levels. This is because our brain is not adapted to focus on multiple tasks at the same time, which leads to a decrease in concentration and productivity. Confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is the tendency of people to look for information that confirms their existing beliefs and ignore information that contradicts them. This bias can lead to a lack of critical thinking and an inability to change one's mind in the face of new evidence. The importance of sleep. Sleep is crucial for physical and mental health because it allows the brain to process information, consolidate memories, and repair and regenerate cells. Chronic lack of sleep can lead to a number of negative consequences, including cognitive impairment, mood disorders, and an increased risk of chronic diseases. In conclusion, I want to say that psychology is a fascinating and complex field that offers an endless understanding of human behavior. There are countless aspects of mind and behavior that need to be explored. The facts outlined above are just a few examples of the rich and diverse world of psychology. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel.